going to show you how to multiply 131 base 6 by 142 base 6. So first we need to define what all of our shapes are. So in base 6 in this problem, 1s are going to be represented by a small unit square. 6s are going to be represented by rods. 36s are going to be represented by flats, or these larger squares here. 2 16s are going to be represented by a cube. And 1, 2, 9, 6s are going to be represented by a circle. So down here I have a table where I have represented each of the numbers, 131 base 6 and 142 base 6. 131 is here. Here's a 1, a 3, and a 1. The 1 is in the 36's place, so it's represented by a flat. The 3 is in the 6's place, so it's represented by 3 rods. And the 1 is in the 1's place, represented by 1 small unit square. Over here in the vertical column, we have 142, and the 1 is in the 36's place, so it's represented by 1 flat. The 4 is represented by 4 rods, and the 2 by 2 unit squares. So first we have to look at the 1 times the 1. They're both in the 36's place, so you can equate this to being in the hundreds place. 100 times 100 would not equal 1,000, which is what the unit, the cube represents, but rather would be like the next place up, which would be the 10,000s place. So here we're going to get 1 in the 1296's place. So next we look at the 1 in the 36's place times the 3 in the 6's place. And when you multiply a flat times a rod, you're going to get a 216, and there will be 3 of them. So here I have 3 216s. And then over here, we have the 1s, a 1 in the 1's place times a 1 in the 36's place. And that will give us just a flat. So I think I have 1 right here. So we'll get a flat right there, representing 1 in the 36's place. All right, so if we go down to the next row, we have a 4 in the 6's row. So we have 4 rods, and we need to multiply that first by this flat. So a flat times a rod is going to be the next place value up, which is going to be a unit cube. So the cubes represent 216. So in this place right here, we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1 flat, which is going to be 4 of the 216s. Okay, in the next column, we've got a 3 in the 6's place times a 4 in the 6's place. So that is each of these rods is going to be multiplied by each of these rods. So we're going to have a flat 3 times. So I'm just going to copy that and create a new one here, and copy it again, and create a new one here. So 3 rods times 4 rods gives us 12 flats. Okay, if we come back over here to this next section, we've got 4 6s times 1 1. So that's 4 rods times 1 unit square, which is going to give us 4 rods. Coming down to the bottom row, we've got 2 unit squares times 1 36, which is a flat. So that is going to give us 2 flats. And down here, we've got 3 rods times 2 unit squares, which is going to give us, for this one, for this unit square, we get 3 rods, and for this unit square, we get 3 rods. And then in the very last position, we have 2 1s times 1 1, and that's going to give us 2 1s or 2 unit squares. So now if we add up everything we have here, starting with our highest denomination, we have 136. So on the next page, I have created a tally of every single thing that we came up with up above. So I added up the circles and I got 1 in the 1296 position. Then I added up all of the cubes and we get 7. So we put 7 cubes in the 216 position. We come back up and we add up all of the flats and we have 2 here, we have 12 here, and we have 1 here for a total of 15 flats. So over here I came and put 15 flats in the 36s column. And then coming back up and counting our rods, doesn't matter which way they're facing, we have 4 here and we have 6 here, that's a total of 10. So over here I have 10 6s. And then we ended up with 1 set of 2 1s. So I put those 2 1s in the 1s column. So now we can just come down here and work. So the first thing we have to do is regroup. So everything can only have a total, a maximum number of 6 because we were working with digits 0 to 5. So once we hit 6, we have to regroup and move that group up into the next denomination, just like we do when we work in the tens. If we hit 10, we make a group and we move them up to the next. So in base 6, when we hit 6, we make a group and move them up to the next denomination. So here in the ones, we only have 2. So we're going to leave that as 2. In the 6s, we have 10. So I'm going to take this group of 6 and I'm going to get rid of it. And I'm going to replace it. I've got some extras sitting down here. I'm going to replace it with a group in the 36s. So this can go away. I'll just move it down there. I'll try to move it down there. It doesn't want to go, so I'm just going to delete it. All right. So coming back up here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 in the 36s. So we need to take out groups of 6. So we have a group of 6 right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that I'm going to remove. I'll try to scoot it to the bottom, but don't know if it'll let me. Okay, and we're going to replace that with 1 of the next denomination up. So I just added that one. All right, and we have another group of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. And I'm going to take those away as well, put those down in the bottom. And what we're left with is 4 in the 36s. So since that is less than 6, we are done in this group. And I still need to replace for those that we took out. All right, so we took 6 out and I got busy rearranging and forgot to add that. So that is to replace the other set of 6 that we took out. All right, so double checking, we have 2 in the 1s, 4 in the 6s, and 4 in the 36s. All of those are less than 6, so we can move on to the 216s. So in the 216s, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups. So again, we can take out a group of 6. I'm going to take out this group of 6 and move it away. And I'm going to replace it up in the next denomination with 1 set of 1, 2, 9 6s. So this leaves us with less than 6 in each denomination, which is what we're looking for in base 6. And now we have to go and see what we have. So in the 1296s, we have 2. In the 216s, we have 3. In the 36s, we have 4. In the 6s, we also have 4. And in the 1s, we have 2. So our final number is going to be, I'm going to just write it down here to be clear. 23,442. And that is going to be in base 6.